So let's give this a whirl and see. This is my second attempt because last night I was so brain dead I messed up. So here we go again, but in this case I made a couple additions and some changes, so we'll see. So if you look over at the screen, or looking at my screen, here's a program that I wrote basically last night and this morning. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see, give you some idea. Here's a memory bit, and this is one of the ways to address one of the push buttons on our trainers that goes to distributed I/O. This is a always on to clear faults, but you can see here with a momentary push button, a light bit will turn on, the VFD will start, and a light will turn on my control panel on my trainer. I have two ways to stop. This button or this button, this stop bit or this button will stop my VFD. Now, as a way of a little bit of practice, we can't directly move. This is set up so that if this switch is off, it's going to move 300 into a dent, and you can see that right there, a dent that is command. We can't really move data straight into the VFD. We might be able to, I'm just going to do it this way just to show you that you can review move commands. But value 600, the way things are, this is the frequency. I have a bit here so that when the VFD is ready, this will turn on, and I have always true moves to take whatever is the command bit to move it into my VFD output frequency. All these are in our controller tags, as I was kind of talking about last night through my VFDs. There is a slew of, let's see if this will, let's see if this will help. No, it's no, well, we'll see. There is a slew of, sorry, I'm experimenting with helping you see, of already pre-established bits. These correspond to the parameters in the drive. All I had to do was add that through my Ethernet port on the side here. You can also see how I added my ANET, my distributed I/O. The steps of doing that is right-clicking, new module, find your I/O, define your chassis, how many slots there are, and then 0 will always be filled by the Ethernet adapter, but you then have to go in and put your individual cards. That's nice. Here's the power flex. I have to, and the things to keep in mind. Once again, I'm going to go to properties just to show you, is make sure this is the IP address that we've assigned. This is a slot chassis that matches what is in RS links. Okay? So, boom. Awesome. I'm going to cancel. Same thing with the VFD. You got to give both a name. I just do ANT. So, and here's the, and remember, got to maintain the IP address. Sometimes you need to change the revision, but this will tell you if not. Okay? Cancel. So here's my controller tags. Remember, these inputs come from the drive. So if it's active, it's a 1. If it's ready, it's a 0. If it's just to show you this a little bit more because I couldn't last night. Let me go online. I'm just going to download this whole thing to the controller. Remember, I got to establish my communication path. Download. I don't know if you can. I don't know if my webcam is sharing or not. We'll see. It may be down the corner. I can't tell. I'll find out when I get rid of when I convert it over. Go to yes, and if you notice, I have one other ready. I have a 1 here and a 1 here. Command frequency count, output frequency here. Now watch when I press start. You can see it changed from active. You can see this number slowly going up to my command. And if I go back to my routine, everything's live. So there's my command. It stopped at 30. If I switch over, you can see it switched over to 600. And if I actually watched, it would go up to 60 hertz frequency. Okay? I'm going to stop that for the time being so I can talk about programming VFDs. Quick review, but memory bits, those are bools, and I use move commands to move numbers from one bit to another. Okay? So here's Factory View Talk right here. I've already opened it. We got to open up the program FactoryTalk View Studio. And I'm going to open an existing application. You can name it, but I'm already been playing around. I haven't done much, and I don't want to take so long with recompiling something. So I've got a program called Take Two. I'll still walk through the steps, but this will open faster, hopefully. Okay, so I'm opening Take Two. And you can see it's going through its actions of opening. Keep in mind, you need to be connected to the Ethernet. You can't just be connected to the USB. You have to be connected to the Ethernet and have set all your Ethernet addresses the same. That will be helpful. Okay? I'm going to go into communication setup. Well, I can't. First, project settings, I need to make sure that I'm running a panel view plus 600, so I'll make sure it's that. You can change it to all these, but that's the first thing you should change, so that way you get the right size screen. I'm going to next go to communication setup. Down here under RS Links Enterprise. So down here on the side, project settings under systems. If I go down to RS Links Enterprise, a communication setup, this dialog box opens. I'm going to create a new configuration. Finish. I then now go to add shortcut. What we're doing here is figuring out what PLC this HMI is going to communicate with and get all of its information from. So I hit add, give it a name, PLC, and once I add it, I highlight it, I highlight my PLC, and at that point, this apply button should become live. And now I hit apply. It's going to ask me, do I want to change it from nothing to Ethernet PLC 3? I want to hit yes. And now it's been applied. Before I go, just to make my life easier, I'm going to hit this button up here. It says copy design to runtime. Because in theory, you could do everything at your workstation, program it, but then it has a different configuration out in the field. Okay? In this case, this doesn't, so I'm going to copy to runtime, so that way I have a design element and a runtime element. So I just copy, that's what these two tabs here, design, runtime. And now the shortcut is there. If I click, there's that shortcut. Okay? I also want to add an offline tag file. I'm going to browse, and the program that I was running is PLC3. So I'm going to highlight it. There's my, I'll hit verify, everything's good. And the most important thing is down at the bottom, click OK. Once I click OK, this box is going to come up and say, yes, I want to accept my edits. And then it closes. So make sure you hit OK. I can then start establishing tags for my HMI. Now, this isn't 100% important, but it is if you're going to do math or do some scaling, because I can put names in there. So, like start, call it a digital, and then I can actually link to, and it's kind of already there, I can actually link to my PLC directly, this tag, if I wanted to. So this box comes up. If I hit refresh all folders, you'll see it will pull up the tag file from my program. So all this is in real time. So you can see PLC. That should match the name of the communication pathway you just established. Online, hey look, here's all my controller tags. If I double click, hey look, here's all my tags there for my outputs and inputs. Kind of cool. So that's all there. Even the offline stuff I can work at, as well as diagnostic items. So this is where you set everything up. If you have a value that you want to scale, you can do that in here. So for instance, let me do input, and let me do, let me go to analog, current. I'm going to call it current analog drive output, current. Now I can have a minimum and I can have a scale, okay? So it may come in as 600, so I'm going to give it a scale 0.1 to move the decimal point over 1. And make it a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 60, just to play, okay? But I might just keep it at 100, and if I want to link that to something coming in, input, zoom this in, input, and so as I was looking for the output frequency, that's what I was looking for. So there's my input output frequency. If you want to verify, so if I hit OK, it should update its data type integer. It already does fix that, and then I hit accept, and boom, there it is. Okay, so you can go ahead and do all that if you want. I'm just going to close. Let's go to the fun part, actually designing. If I go into main, this is my piddly little screen. Isn't it wonderful? And it will just contain me to right there. Everything that I need to draw with is up here. So everything that he drew, this is right here. Remember, keep shutdown button there. We'll talk about multiple screens some other time. But here we go. Let's just put in a button, momentary push button. Simple, easy. You can go and style it. Remember, there's a state 0, state 1. So if it's pushed in or pushed not, there's a cap. You can put a caption in here. Helpful. Hit start. There's that. You can change colors. So back color, font. You can change alignment. All this fun stuff. Starting or start. You can keep it the same, and then go in here and change the color. If I remember, where's the color change? Caption, image, general. You can blink it. Pattern style. Just go in and play. That's the big thing. But here's the next thing, connections. You need to make it connect in some way. Indicator and the arrow will tell me if it will read and write or just read. If it's an arrow, it's just going to read. It's not going to write. I'm going to go ahead and put a tag in, and I will find my program tags here, and I will put membit1 because that was what was there. Okay? I'm going to hit apply, hit OK, so there's my start button. I'm going to draw another one. Again, stop. Stop. So, okay, I will go to connections, and I will hit my stop. Okay. So I hit apply, everything's awesome. Now, one nice thing is if I hit control, I can highlight both of them and bring them around. But if I hold down control and click, I can then order them together. Usually what the good practice is copy and paste the same thing and then just edit it so it looks the same. I am going to put in a little box here, and this will give me the forecolor, back color, all that fun stuff right here. But if I highlight it and right-click, there's something that will say animation, and then you can do fill. You can make your own, and this little screen will come up. This will make your match when something is happening. So in this case, if I wanted to highlight when it's at its reference point, in my inbox at reference, I hit OK. So when this becomes 1, it's going to fill. Okay? Or if I want to do visibility, same thing. So let's apply this to see what we can see what happens. You know, I can also do I can do something like a scale. And I could link it to where it is with tick marks, all that fun stuff. Let's not do a scale. Let's do I don't know, let's do a gauge. It's a little small. I'm going to hit OK and make it bigger. That way it's bigger. And then if I right-click and hit Properties, I can edit all this again. So back style, I'm going to go transparent just to make it, you know, able to see better. And the big thing is I want to make a connection to, and in this case, I can make a connection to the current, what is it, drive frequency. Oh, it's been one of those days, so excuse me, guys. So output frequency, there it is. Hit OK, and now this is going to give us some idea where the output frequency is. Okay? So let me just kind of make this look better. I'll move this here. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to kind of center this. HMI is more of an art form than anything else, so let's just, this is the best I can do. If I want to test this, I go up here to hit the play button, and let's see if it'll start. If it'll let me start. I just clicked it, and I heard my thing click. There it is, it's starting. And you can see it's accelerating. I might have to adjust the scale a little bit because it's going too much. This is why we do and you can see now it's at reference. Let me hit stop. And what I'm going to do when this is done is I'm going to go to connections, and see, this is why I can't do that. I want to do my actual local tag. So current, where is the refresh all folders? Here's my, if I double click, here's my current, hit OK. I'm going to hit OK, and now let's see if that makes a difference. I hit start, and it's doing a better job of tracking. You can see now it's, my set's at 60, it's stopping at 60. So it's giving me an accurate representation. So I can do all that in the HMI. I hit stop, and it's going to slowly go down, and you can see this thing go down slowly. There's a way to update the read time, but we're going over network, so let's do it the best we can. Okay? And you can see the little light up here when it's at reference. Cool. I'm going to hit stop, and now here's how I transition it to the HMI. First, I need to create runtime application. That's under the application tab. I'm going to call this take 2. Now, in this case, if I have older HMIs, I can save as a different runtime application based upon what the HMI firmware is. So this is where I do that at this point. I'm running 8 right now, so I'm going to keep it at 8. I'm going to hit save. It's going to create the runtime. Okay? When it's I hit save changes, all that fun stuff. It's going to go through its jazz. I know, waiting's the hardest part. Now I hit this little transfer utility once it's done saving, and this is when this screen pulls up, and this is when I actually will send that packet, the MER file, over to my HMI. And so I will find it, hit the little button here to find where you saved it. It's called Take Two. I hit Open, and I can then do Download As. I can run this application at startup, replace communications and all that other fun stuff. I'm not going to do that. And then this is the HMI I want to communicate with, so I highlight it, and when all that is good, I hit download, and something that looks like this should show up. And when it's complete, hit OK. And now, if I go to my HMI, hit load application, find the application, hit load, hit yes for replace communications. Eventually it's going to run. When it gets to the file, I can hit run, and it should show up, and it should look like what we just built. I don't know if I'm showing you that right now or not. And if I hit start, it is starting. And it is monitoring the real-time flow. And now I've turned off the reference just so it's down to 30, and there it goes. Now it's at 30. Cool. Well, this was a fast tutorial. Hopefully you can play with this some more, but now you have a reference point. So thank you for your time. Let me know if you have any